Ice Fab Master, I need your predictions.
What?
What is an Ebisu gonna do on a pro car?
Delaminate and one lap.
What do you think an Ebisu Matsuri compound tire will do on a pro level car like this?
Yeah, 1, maybe 2 laps, and that's it.
Here with Mark. Mark is literally the right-hand man for Lone Star Drift. He wrenches on everything, keeps all the cars running, and kind of makes Mr. Losey look good because he fixes everything. So we're asking a bunch of opinions. We're gonna run the 265 3518 Ibitsus on the Pro car, which is 600 horsepower, and I'm gonna run them at 12 PSI. So what do you think is gonna happen?
Have you ever ran them on anything?
No, I run them on the RX-7,
on the RX-7.
the FC. It's about 300 horsepower.
And these are, you're used to 265 Cs?
285Rs.
Okay, so you're going from a 285 to a 265. I think my prediction, I can't say how many laps because they're kind of hard, like they're hard tires, but I think you're gonna think the car's broken.
I agree with that. It's gonna be ice skating.
The grip level is gonna be that much different. Like, they're good tires, they're gonna last probably a while.
Yeah.
But they're like, they don't have the grip that even the 265s do, and you going from a 285 to a 265, I feel it's just gonna like, you're just gonna think the car's broken.
It's gonna be on rev limiter the
Yeah.
entire lap.
It's
So
gonna
we're
feel
doing
like the car
one
has no
lap
grip.
of the street legal and then coming back to cool down. So we're gonna see, so Mr. Valino thinks we'll get 3 out of them if I don't hot lap.
I think 4.
4, okay. That's in Mr. Valino himself. And we're gonna try a little experiment today and put the Ibitsu, which is a 360 tread wear, on the Pro car, which normally runs the 285Rs, which is a 200 tread wear.
Correct.
And we are getting about 7 to 8 laps on this track in between the two little sections, and just thought it'd be fun to put the same 265 3518 but in the Ibitsu on the Pro car and see how many laps we can get out of it. So I kind of just, because I'm good friends with Ian, I wanted to see what he thought about that.
Okay, first question. What tire pressure do you run with the R's usually?
Out here we've been running, so I'm going to run these at 25. I've been running them at 18.
Okay. What's your plans for pressure for these boys?
12.
12. Okay. I'd say you get 3 laps.
3 laps, and not hot lapping, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Give them a little time to chill in between runs, but you should get 3 laps in.
Okay, so that's pretty good. I was thinking it would smoke them on 1 lap, but I run these Ibitsus on the RX-7 most of the time at around 15-20 PSI. It's 300 horsepower conservatively. Now we're gonna double the horsepower, and it's 2,500 pounds with me in the car. So it'll be a fun little experiment and see what they do actually. We're still trying to have some fun without going home with so many tires. So that's what we'll do.
I have a lot of pride in my product, so if you don't do 3 laps on them, then I'll give you some merch.
Okay, well that's a deal.
I'll stand behind my word.
Okay, well that's a good deal. Yes sir,
Good
I
luck.
appreciate it.
Have fun and keep drifting fun.
We will, always. All right, so we're gonna do a simple penny test. So this is the 360 treadwear 265 3518 Ibitsu branded Valino. On the car is the 285 3518 in the R series, which is a 200 treadwear. And just for giggles, we are gonna see Mr. Abe Lincoln. Looks like we are in the middle of the date, you know, maybe right there at his bow tie. Then we can pull this out. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's roughly the same. Maybe a little deeper where it covers up the actual date. So yeah, roughly the same, but you can see, if you go back at the back, you can see there's a pretty significant difference in not only the treadwear, but the actual, just everything. This is just a beefy tire. They're both on 10.5-inch rays, same offset, same everything. So you can see the 265 stretches out a little bit, where the 285 is pretty much level, if not a little more further than the actual rim. So, yeah.
So as you can see, if he did what he was told, this is one lap on the street legal course, which is only a 3rd gear track. And they're about half-life already. And these are 20 mil bigger. About almost double the grip. So let's hear it from Jason.
In one lap on the street legal course, I thought I did a really good lap, and it seemed all right. But so after one single lap, we'll go back in here, and it's actually the same. It's pretty similar to what we started on, although it doesn't look like it. It still covers up the entire. It covers up about half of the date, which on this R it was actually fully covering the date up. So it's about, I would say, similar to the same tread pattern as the Ibitsu's brand new. But this was one really hard lap.
Got the little skinny boys on there. For reference, these tires are mainly for like stock 350Zs. So this should be interesting. Let's go along for the ride.
So we are back from the single lap in the Ibitsu's, and pretty surprisingly, they had about the same. I mean, it felt the exact same to the 285Rs at 25 psi. You know, a lot of it is still my lack of confidence in floating, basically, but the tires felt the same. So we'll see. I mean, if you look at them, you can tell they've been driven on, but there's not as near as much cupping as what we have on the R. This cupping right here is significantly more in this 285R. Now, I mean, these are softer tread, softer compound tires, so it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of hit or miss. We're gonna go do, we know we've been getting 7 to 8 laps doing both courses on the R, so we're kind of going to do the same thing. I said kind of twice, but we're going to do the same thing and do, you know, 2 more laps out here. I may even try to hit the carousel just to see if they'll delaminate on that. We'll get through that, but we're going to continue to do the test. They've cooled down. We're going to probably wait another 5-10 minutes and then head back out and do another lap. So yeah, it's kind of surprising, kind of shocking. We'll see. Maybe Mr. CEO is right. Mr. Valino himself. We might get 3 laps out of these. We'll see. We're going to go out. This is the second lap on the Ibitsu's. They've cooled down for about 10 minutes. We're going to go run the same layout and then come back to the pits. So we'll see what it does. After the second lap, it's been about 10 minutes of the cool down. And you can see that we're starting to wear these, but it's actually shocking how little they're going. This track is more favoriting this tire anyway. So normally on the R's, we would swap them. But we're just gonna keep going. We're about to go out and do the third lap. You can see this one's not near as bad right here, but the tread markers are about the same, just below the tread. So we're gonna go out and do the third lap and do the same exact thing. Just go out there, no rolling burnouts, do the layout, not hit the carousel, and then come back to the pits and we'll see what it does. We'll see what it looks like then.
Light and fast.
All right, so that's the third lap. Control, doing the same thing over and over again. We would normally swap the R's after, I don't know, after probably 4 laps, we'd swap them left to right. You can kind of see this track favors the passenger side. That's where the heavy sweeper is. That's where a few of the longer turns are. So this tire is definitely wearing more than the left. So we're gonna, for the 4th lap, we're gonna go ahead and swap them. You can tell that on camera for sure. And so we're just gonna flip them around and then let them cool down for another 10 minutes and go back out and do number 4, which is what Mark predicted. So I guess technically 3 laps, so this one's almost done. So Mr. Valino was 100% correct. We're at 12 PSI. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of see how far they can go. Like I said, by swapping them, we've gotten 7 laps out of the 285Rs. So yeah, that's what we'll do. I think that's pretty well done. So we can give the winner to Mark, who guessed 4 laps and said that the car would feel broken, and it did not. It actually felt the exact same. So whether, you know, the tires are better than what kind of people expected, or we do kind of have a little bit of a setup issue with the car, but at 12 PSI, they felt like the 285Rs at 20 PSI, you know, or 18 where we were running them. So, you know, it was consistent. I didn't really do a lap time, but it felt similar. I was on rev limiter a little longer on these, but honestly, there wasn't much different to boast about. You know, the Ibitsus are significantly cheaper than the R's and the C's, and so this really kind of opened my eyes to either, you know, kind of continuing to run on them, like ride along events where tires don't really matter, and you know, and just see what we can do with the setup wise when we get back. I still got the Fortunato coilovers being built, so that will definitely help. I just kind of realized that we have 10K rears, and with the weights and balances that I gave to Fortunato, they suggested 6Ks with the helper spring. So, you know, maybe there is something to that. We do have a blown strut, but other than that, as far as this test goes, we did the control laps. We got 4 laps out of the Ibitsu, so that's half of what the 285Rs are. And it's almost half the price if you look at it, MSRP and R, that fun stuff. So I could not be happier with Valino, and for them trusting me and being a sponsor of their, sponsoring me and kind of all I do in the grassroots. And yeah, I'm about to roll these over to Ian and kind of let him guess what it was and kind of tell him the good news. So I appreciate it. saw earlier, we did swap after 3 laps, but then finished it on the 4th to get really good even tire wear. And actually, I took it over to the Valino guys and let them guess. Mike was way off at 12 laps, but he guessed exactly right, 4 laps. Even though he predicted 3,
Yeah.
we did get 4 out of them at a super controlled. I did the same thing, same passenger weight, everything like that. So I'm very impressed with the Ibitsus. The 360 treadwear at 12 PSI, they felt good, they felt great. I was on limiter a hair longer than on the R's, but I could not be happier with Valino in general and the way these Ibitsu handled on the Pro car. So, I mean, what do you think?
I am, I'm not going to say I'm impressed because I was expecting 4 laps. I went just a little bit low just because I was a little scared when you said 800 horsepower. But you know the Valino.
Yep.
You've been using the Valino rubber for such a long time now that you just know how it acts and you know how it works.
Yep.
So I think that part of the reason it did last 4 laps on such a powerful car was definitely you taking care of the tire.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest, right?
Yeah, I didn't hot
So this
lap
just goes to show it's all about the tire and the driver and the car setup. There's so many different like things involved to try to make a tire last longer than the guy next to you, right?
Yep, for sure.
And it works.
Yeah.
I did lose because it was 4 and I predicted 3, but I did want to give you this Matsuri cap, very limited edition cap.
Yes, we'll go
I
ahead.
did promise some merch if I lost, but I'm in a good mood today. I'm going to give you one of these flight tags also. These are keychains,
Okay.
Matsuri version.
Man, I really appreciate that.
And this is something I just brought over from Japan. It's a one-touch umbrella, ABC Matsuri.
Okay.
This thing is pretty cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate it. Yeah, and I always appreciate all the support you've done for me and the grassroots drifting.
Oh, well, I
all that
appreciate
fun
it,
stuff.
and I'm looking forward to continue working with you, Jason. Thanks
All
for
right.
everything, man.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, brother.
All right. That's it.
You heard it from